Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Anthony Galaviz. Another Raider news coming at you. The release of defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, who's been nursing a foot injury. Foot injury that he sustained last year against the Denver Broncos. Could never get back on the field. Thus, Raiders releasing him today. Turns out, according to ESPN and other reports, the Raiders voided the remaining $35.2 million of guaranteed money that's on his contract on June 4th, and now there's gonna be a hearing at some point. Excuse me, port. At some point, it could get a little messy, but the Raiders maintain. Let me back up here for a minute. Last year, Tom Telesco, then general manager, was the one that signed Christian Wilkins to the massive deal. Now, I'll say this about Christian Wilkins. For the last 3 years with the Dolphins, he's been relatively healthy. He played every game for the Dolphins. At one point, you may want to say, and there's some argument, to it, whether that was a good deal that the Raiders signed. It's an argument to make. But, you figured, okay, Christian Wilkins is going to come to the Raiders, be a defensive force for the Raiders with Max Crosby. And that never happened. Christian Wilkins is now no longer with the Raiders. The Raiders had enough with the new regime, John Spidek, and also Pete Carroll. The Raiders came out with pull it up real quick. Came out with a statement tonight about late afternoon, about the release of Christian Wilkins. 1 second, please. You guys read it, and I know you guys don't want me to repeat it, but it was a strong message by the Raiders. They're not messing around, and that's how I took from it. What they said was, we had decided that it is the best interest of the organization to move on from Christian Wilkins, and he has been informed of his release for the team. It also says this franchise has a commitment to excellence on and off the field, with no clear path or plan for future return to play from Christian. This transaction is necessary for the entire organization to move forward and prepare for the new season. I've never seen that type of statement before by the Raiders since I've been covering the Raiders, where they ask for commitment to excellence on and off the field. What it's telling me is Spidek is sending out the best clear message. We're not messing around. Don't fool around. We're telling you what's your best interest. If you don't want to take it, then we don't want you on the team anymore. Apparently, the Raiders told him that you should get surgery, and Wilkins is saying no. For whatever reason, we don't know. It's going to come out. Maybe we'll know the full story when it all comes out. But it's just messy. It's unfortunate because, like I said, Wilkins been relatively healthy the last 3 years with the Dolphins, and that hasn't been the case for the Raiders. And now it's going to come to head in court or whatever it may be, not court, but just wanting to, like I said, grievances. Who's going to get what? The Raiders are going to fight it. Wilkins is going to fight it. Never a dull moment, like I said, on Twitter. Like I said, I'm surprised that the Raiders released him, but at the same time, I'm not. I know there was videos that circulated that looked like Wilkins was possibly looking, I guess, making progress, but maybe that's not the case. I don't know, but I don't know. What do you guys think about Christian Wilkins? What do you want the Raiders to do now? It seems like they could add another defensive tackle. Will that be Quentin Jefferson, who recently came in and visited the Raiders? I'm just going to keep this short. I don't want to be going blah, 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 blah. I don't want to bore you guys to death. My feeling on all this, my reaction is I'm shocked. Always felt that Wilkins was going to be a problem on defense for the Raiders against opposing teams. Now we'll never know. We'll never see that. We got a little taste last year before he got injured. But again, injuries happen in NFL, and now we'll see what happens with the Raiders, who they're going to pick up, who they're going to bring in. But like I said, John Smidek and Pete Carroll are not messing around. It's a new regime. They want to win, and if you're not with them, I guess, well, you got to cut bait, and that's what they did today. Hit the like, subscribe button. More Raider news to come tomorrow. Pete Carroll will speak in front of the media. Probably will not touch on the whole release today or from today. And so we'll see what happens. But again, my name is Anthony Galaviz. Hit the like, subscribe button, and we'll talk soon.